What does it take to nurture a team? It takes knowing what you want out of your team and knowing what you want out of your own life. If you are not a role model that someone wants to follow, your team is not going to want to grow. If you are someone that's closed off, doesn't have new ideas, doesn't have new strategies, and cannot implement new things, your team cannot be expected to do any of that. So, emotional intelligence is very much required for maintaining teams. You need to also know what your team is capable of doing. If there is someone on your team that you wake up every morning and you think to yourself, my goodness, this person's not going to get it. I'm going to explain it to them 100 times and they're not going to listen. They should not be a part of your team. And this is hard and fast, and I understand it's difficult, and something that I've gone through many times in my life, and some things that I'm still dealing with in my life. But once we can eliminate the things that are blocking us from getting our team, our culture, our goals in line, everything becomes so much simpler. And this is something that takes a long time to master, something I'm still working on. But basically nurturing a team after you get all of the ground clear, after you get all of the blocks out of the way, the people that are stupid, that are holding you back, the people that don't grow, the people that think that everything they're doing is right. After you get rid of those things and also things that are wasting your time and your team's time out of the way, then you can start with fertile ground. Then you can say to yourself, okay, I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in courses. I'm investing in trying to become a more routine individual. I'm investing in becoming more grand scale, more macroscopic. Okay, now how can I teach these things to my team? Another interesting thing that I came across was that there should never be a time in your business that you are doing something that you already know how to do. The only time that you should be doing something that you already know how to do is when you're teaching someone else how to do that thing. Otherwise, you're wasting your potential. And this is something that I came across recently that I think is absolute gold. This is Grant Cardone's mentoring class that taught me this. And there's something that I've been doing in my dental practice for now about a month, which is billing. And I've been thinking about, well, billing is work that I don't necessarily have to be doing because it's pretty rote. You don't have to think about it too much. Here and there, you understand treatment planning and you understand x-rays and whatnot. But really when it comes down to it, when you nail it down, there isn't much that changes about it. And I've been doing this job alone in the back office. The reason is because all of the other jobs that need to be done at the office are being occupied. And that the person that I want to train as the biller is actually doing front desk calls. So I realized that in order for me to not do that job anymore, to delegate it to someone else, I first of all, every single time that I'm billing, I need to have that person in front of me showing them exactly what I'm doing step by step, so that when I eventually get a new employee to take over the front desk position, just have someone that says, hey, how you doing? Picking up the phone calls, scheduling appointments, that person that was doing the front desk work can go directly into billing and I can go into the next stage. So this type of mentality of having constant growth in your life is going to be very, very difficult at first, because you have to be very stern about your environment. You have to be very stern about how you spend your time, the ideas that you allow into your life. And oftentimes when we're just coming up, when we're just coming out of school, when we're just building our business to begin with, we're gonna feel like we don't have the strength to actually hold that structure together. And I wanna tell you that we're all gonna struggle with this, but at the end of the day, the more stern you are, the more kind to yourself you are, the more kind you are to other people. There was a quote in Atlas Shrugged that I read that said, I do not care too much for pain anymore. Pain, I realize, is not significant. It should not impact the soul. It should not impact the character. It's something that is transient, that wears off. Now, this is a very mature mindset to go through when we are evolving as human beings, when we're evolving as people, to embrace the difficult situations, to embrace situations that are going to put us on edge, to embrace difficult conversations, right? We need to get to a point in our life where that stuff does not faze us at all. And the best way to go and do that is speed. So after hatching a plan, after hatching a why of what you want to do in life, after hatching out what is holding you back, then speed. Speed is the way to get past fear. So to say to yourself, okay, this is a block of my team, of my life. This is how I'm going to get over it. This is what it's going to cost me. Okay, am I okay with that? Cool. Doing it immediately. Jumping on it immediately. It's like when you first start taking cold showers. The idea is not to look at the cold shower for 5 minutes. The idea is to go into the damn cold shower until your body gets acclimated to it, until your breathing gets acclimated to it. And then after having the cold shower, thinking back to it and thinking to yourself, my goodness, what an amazing thing I've done. That amount of confidence, that amount of dedication in your life is required to move past barriers, because not everyone around you is going to understand what you're trying to accomplish. In fact, very, very few people are going to understand what you're trying to accomplish, especially when it comes to nurturing your team. The thing that gets me excited about the workplace, excited about a leadership role, is actually my ability to make people feel psychologically safe. People that I believe in. Is my ability to tell people, listen, I believe this is your strong suit. And after asking them, hey, what do you think your strong suit is? I generally agree with them. Most people know what they want to do. Ask them what their strong suit is, what their ideal position in the workplace is, okay? Once you understand that, and once you understand why they're saying that, essentially that you've analyzed their character, you've analyzed what they like to get out of life, right? Then you give them all of the opportunities to do that thing, and you give them resources to build those skills up in their own life. So that if they leave your office, if they leave your environment, that they leave feeling grateful, and they tell other people, hey, that person was a good boss. That person was a good leader. Go and follow that person. After you start doing that, accountability is going to be the third thing. Accountability, saying, hey, listen, we talked about this last time. Have you gotten anywhere with it? Have you watched anything? Here, I gave you some resources. What did you think? And casual conversations tend to be better than conversations that you're trying to nail someone to a wall, oftentimes. Obviously, as you get more and more in scale, you're gonna have less and less time to beat around the bush, and you're gonna be surrounded by more and more people that are actually on their shit. And that hopefully will come with having more free time for yourself to think about the things that you actually want to do in your life. So, get rid of the barriers in your own life. Go and pursue the goal fast, as quickly as possible. Get started. Then you can start nurturing your team. And when you nurture your team, understand exactly what they want to do in the job. Understand exactly the position or the types of positions, the types of work that they'll actually genuinely enjoy doing based on their interests. Give them as many opportunities to do that type of work. And on top of that, give them accountability and give them the resources to learn the skills that they need to. Essentially, teach them the stop process. Getting rid of barriers, setting a goal, figuring out what to get rid of and what it's going to cost, and moving forward. Nurturing comes down to listening. But first of all, nurture yourself. Nurture yourself. Learn, do everything that you could possibly want to do for a team member, for a person in your family, for anyone else in the world. You want to do that for yourself first, because we can only teach what we understand. And that, my friend, is the biggest misconception of many of the people probably around my age trying to do these things. They have not spent the time and energy to invest in themselves. They have not spent the time and energy to get rid of the blocks in their life and to make sure that they're constantly being held accountable by mentors and by their environment that they created. And they're trying to give lessons to people about things that they do not understand. And the funny part is, you might be young. You might be as young as me. I'm what, 27? You might be as young as me, and you might talk to people that are 30 years older than you that know absolutely nothing, literally nothing about pursuing large business goals, about having strategic ideas, about all this stuff. And by virtue of age, they will tell you, they will say, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Get rid of those people. Anyone that is not encouraging you in your path, someone that warns you is good. Someone that warns you is always going to be good. But anyone that's not encouraging you and at least trying to learn, get them out of there, man. Move past it. That's a barrier. That's a barrier. It doesn't matter who it is. And it's difficult to come through. I understand. But listen, we all have our battles. And this growth, this love that you give yourself, this is going to be well worth it for yourself, obviously, but also for humanity. And that's the whole goal of Therapify. The reason I tell you these things, I want you to apply these lessons to do the best possible thing you can do for your community, for your system, so that humanity can improve. Not those individuals that are looking to stay the same. Don't give in to those mentalities. And if you're one of those people, hey, so be it. I'm always going to be here. Smash that like button if you got any value out of this. Throw me a comment on some things that you've had to go through to remove some barriers in your life. Throw me a like. Every like helps. And check out this video right here where I talk about habits, where I talk about consistency. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Take care.